governments and political parties saying, I tell you what, we'll ignore what the people are thinking.
Well, no, it was Nigel
we know
Farage.
better, we'll do something else.
It was Nigel Farage who was pushing you from the right.
I'm sorry, it was clear to us that the political elite no longer had a clear democratic mandate for our arrangements with the European Union. We needed to test that. We needed to put the case again to the British people, the economic case, the security case, the case about Britain's place in the world. This is not Nigel Farage's victory. This is a much broader consensus that we've seen prevailing here. And I wouldn't like Britain going forward, and I wouldn't like the British people going forward to think of itself as being presented in the image of Nigel Farage, because I know from my own constituency that many of the people who voted to leave the European Union yesterday are perfectly respectable, mainstream British people. They would not associate themselves with Nigel Farage, and they wouldn't want to be represented by Nigel Farage.
You have dealt with all these actors, all these leaders in the European Union. I mean, do you believe they're inclined to give Britain an easy ride into renegotiating all sorts of deals? Because they say publicly that, yeah, of course, we respect what the British have done, but we don't want this to be a contagion. And already you've got Marine Le Pen and Geert Wilders calling for referendums in their own country.
Of course, this is the key issue that we've been trying to explain to people in Britain during the campaign, that it isn't that the leaders of Europe will be vindictive towards us or wish us any ill will. It is simply that as of this morning, their attention will move away from Britain and to their own backyard. They will be looking at protecting their own interests, at dealing with their own domestic political pressures, and they will be driven by those considerations. Our interests will not feature anywhere on their radar screens, and that's the challenge for us. But it's also clear, and you've mentioned a couple of European politicians this morning, it's also clear that we don't know what will happen inside the European Union, in the politics of other European countries. Clearly there will be people across Europe looking at this campaign in Britain, looking at this result here, and also questioning the European settlement.
The President of the United States was very clear when he came here about trade, but also about the value of Britain staying in the EU. How will Britain's relationship with the US change, or just in terms of its influence?
We will remain an important partner for the United States and a good friend with the United States, of course. We have a close security and intelligence and defense relationship, which will endure. But look, we will just be that bit lower down the priority list of any US president in future, because we're an important bilateral partner, but we won't have any influence on the US relationship with the European Union, which, as the world's biggest economic trading bloc, is a key relationship for any US president.
And then the flip side of that, Britain was there helping to push sanctions on Russia, helping to put sanctions on Iran.